Hi, Danielle Romero here. Thank you for watching my channel, this video. If you're new here, welcome. I am a lead beauty guide with LimeLife by Alcone, and I thought I would share this video with you because I have lots of people that I have shared samples with of LimeLife by Alcone foundation. And it's not like the foundation you get at the beauty counter or at the drugstore. It's something unlike you've ever used before. So I want to do this so that you get my best tips and tricks for applying it. So if you did get a sample from me, it may have been in like a little container like this, in a little clear palette, or even in something like this. So maybe you got that in the mail. Maybe I handed it to you and gave you several so that you could have some different shades to try, especially because of COVID. I'm not matching people in person like I was. So I want to give you all my best tips and tricks. So this foundation, LimeLife by Alcone foundation, is 50% pigment. And if you are used to using something from the drugstore, your foundation is probably 18 to 23% pigment. If you are used to going to a beauty counter, having a little more high-end foundation, they're generally up to 28%. And so if you're like, what does that mean? Pigment, what percent? What's 50% pigment? So one of the things that people tell me a lot is they hate how makeup or foundation feels. They don't like to feel it. It feels heavy, cakey. It can get feeling cracky, whatever, all those different things. And that is because the product that you're using maybe has 20% pigment, 80% is filler, right? It's that stuff that you feel. So this foundation, so I'm just going to show you a little, this is how it looks. This is the size of it. That one size, so here's my demo palettes. I mean, we have 34 shades. This is not all the ones that I have, but this way you can see the size of them. That lasts the average woman 6 months using it every day. And so that little bit that you got in that little palette or whatever it was that I gave you is enough for at least probably 2 applications. And so I'm going to show you how to apply it, and that way you will know for sure. And perhaps I've given you a quiz, maybe had you send me a picture, whatever it is. And so I will show you the several different ways there are for you to apply your foundation. Now, one of course is fingers. You can do this all over your face with your fingers. You're not going to get as even an application, and then your fingers are dirty, right? The other thing is a sponge. LimeLife has a great blenderful sponge, and I suggest wetting it, wringing it out really, really well. But if you have any other type of sponge, you know, those little white ones, those are fine. Those, of course, are one application sponges, then you toss them. But if you buy something like this, this is going to last you a lot longer. You wash it, sanitize it. Of course, there's flat foundation brushes. This sort of a brush is going to give you the most full coverage. The most coverage. Now, I have rosacea, as you can see, so I initially apply it generally with that. You can also use something like this, which is a smaller blending type of foundation brush, and this is going to give you almost the same coverage, little less than this. My favorite to use after I have applied it with the flat brush is something like this type of Blenderful, and this gives you a smooth finish. If you do use a sponge, you can rub it or you can pat it all in. So I'm going to do all of them just to show you. So if you have that little bit, you can take it and rub it between your fingers to kind of warm it up. It is wax based. It is vegan. It is paraben free. And like I said, we have 34 colors. Now I'm going to show you with applying with the flat brush. So you can just paint it on. Just paint it, okay? Just paint it on and keep painting, right? You can do that. Now, I usually do this, and then I take a fluffy brush like this, and I blend it. So you can do that. It's just preference and what you want from it. I like coverage, but I want it to look smooth. This foundation is going to look like your skin. Now, you can use too much. But if you just apply a little at first and then blend, and then you'll realize, I mean, look at one layer. This is like totally covered my rosacea. So I'm going to also show you with a sponge. So you just press it in, get some on there, and you can tap it on. Now, of course, because I have rosacea, I do need a little more coverage. But if you don't have a lot of stuff to cover, if you just want a smooth look, you can just bounce this around, all right? The sponge. Like I said, I like a little more coverage. Now, you can also use a brush like this. This is a fluffy, fluffy brush. This is one you might think of using for powder, but you can apply your foundation with this. Now, if it is a natural brush, and I mean natural hairs like horse or donkey, you have sacrificed that brush now to your wax foundation because it's porous, because it's natural. And so it is going to now be only for cream. But if it's synthetic, if it is a LimeLife brush, because our brushes are vegan, you can just use it for both. All right. So all different brushes, different ways to do it, but it's just mainly the thing that you're going to notice with this foundation is it's going to warm to your skin. So if you apply it like with a dry brush like this, you may have to rub for a few seconds just to get it to melt into your skin. But you'll see when you apply it, it is very unlike any other foundation that you have used. And it just looks like skin. It just looks like skin. Now, it is very pigmented, so generally, even for concealing, if you need to conceal under here, you can just use that. We do have concealer, but this is so pigmented that for a lot of people, they are able to just conceal areas that they need to with the foundation. Then I suggest setting it with a spray, like a setting spray, and I do use a primer. I find our spray primers work better than like a silky, slippery type of primer. I feel that those don't work as well with this foundation, but that could just be my preference. But I do think if you set it with powder, and whether it's translucent or it's a tinted powder, and then apply a setting spray, it is going to stay all day long. And you might look and think, wax, isn't that going to melt off my face? No, it does not. Now, if you are like me, this is spring. I know in a couple months, my foundation is going to be a deeper tone. So we do actually have compacts that have 2 foundations in it. So a lot of times when you're new, you might buy your summer and your winter color. And then in the spring and fall, I tend to mix the 2 because I'm in between the color. So I will post my foundation quiz for LimeLife foundation tones here below, and you can check them out, see how you like them, and let me know what it says, and I can get you some samples, or you're just free to go play on my website and order the color that it says. But I do love to help you and to be able to say yay or nay, because I have been matching foundation for 20 years and I'm pretty good at it. If you have any questions, just jot them below or message me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. I'm always sharing my favorite tips and tricks, whether it's for skin, makeup, curly hair. So stay tuned. Thank you.